From Coolray Field in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, it is USL Soccer on ESPN+. The 7-match run-in for the end of the 2018 season for ATL UTD2 continues with Match 5 as they host the Charleston Battery, coming into town with their playoff seeding hanging in the balance for the remainder of their season. Alongside Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. And Jason, last time out midweek, great result for the Stripes.
Yeah, it's a big point for ATL UTD2. Starts off not so well. Foul called a little bit against the run of play, behind the play. Atlanta falls asleep. Free kick flicked on from the goalkeeper. Guenzati pounces on it. Atlanta's able to rebound from that, though. They even had a red card they had to rebound from. Andrew Carlton takes a free kick. Into the mixer late in stoppage time, Miles Robinson, who was already having a man-of-the-match performance, stays focused, stays locked in, slots it home with the left foot.
And we'll keep an eye on Miles today. His growth, part of the personification of the Stripes this year.
It's been critical. His opportunities here in USL with ATL UTD2 are seeing him become more confident as a player. He was the #2 pick in last year's MLS Super Draft. There just weren't many minutes for him in 2017. Some of those minutes were in Charleston with the Battery, but with such a strong defense, there's not a lot of time for Miles Robinson to get in Charleston. He's benefited here this season.
And on the flip side for the Battery, the guy we're going to keep an eye on is known to the Stripes.
And then Patrick Okonkwo's the flip side of that. There's not a lot of minutes for an attacking player with Atlanta right now. And Patrick Okonkwo, the homegrown signing at the beginning of this calendar year, he's played 18 games for Charleston, 10 starts. He has 5 goals and an assist, and it really feels like he's been growing into this season.
So when we come back here to the Proving Ground in Coolray Field, the Battery trying to improve their stock in the Eastern Conference, ATL UTD2, the analysis continues here for the run-in. We'll have lineups, we'll have coaches, we'll have the first 45 minutes. When we return to Coolray Field, it is USL Soccer on ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Jason Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Sabrina Pig! Alex Mendoza! Goal! And Viola! Sunday the other way! Oh, what a goal! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Pure brilliance from Ricardo Pereira. Krasinski diving stop! Must-see TV.
Welcome back to Coolray Field, getting ready for kickoff between the Battery and ATL UTD2. And Jason, let's get into the starting lineups. First off with the visitors, what do you see? Looks like a 3-4-3.
3-4-3. Charleston's been playing this a lot this season. The biggest thing about Charleston that I think gets overlooked, Atula Guerra, great season, 14 goals, 5 assists. We talked about Okonkwo, but it's defensively, Charleston is so strong. Neville Hackshaw, Taylor Mueller, Todd Bryan, and Nunga are the core of that. All of them have played in 30 matches this season. As a team, they've only allowed 32 goals in 32 matches.
And what about the flip side for the home side Stripes?
Interested to see how Scott Donnelly approaches it, because we've seen a variety of shapes and formations for ATL UTD2 this season. We're thinking it's going to be the 4-3-3. We're thinking John Gallagher moves back up into an attacking role. He's played a lot of right back this season. Excited to see the midfield of Oliver Shannon, Chris Goslin, and Andrew Carlton, and how they can control the game from the middle.
Once again, you look at the playoff picture, and it is a log jam from pretty much 2 through 6, and what Charleston is chasing right now. Pittsburgh still kind of in play when it comes to the 3 right now. For the Battery, it's the 3 and the 4.
The Battery have clinched hosting a quarterfinal match. They do have a chance to get to 3. It's a tight one, but they are going to host, and that's a huge opportunity. One game where you get a chance to host that gives you an opportunity to get through. We'll see if the Battery can kind of find their form in these next couple of games. They're coming off of a disappointing loss last week.
And you mentioned what's going on at 2 through 6. Right now, you look at everybody else hanging around the playoff bar, and you lose one, guys on top of your game. Right now, you go pretty much down to 10 or 11, and you could have a lot of activity in and around the playoff bar.
Yeah, Tampa Bay was eliminated last night. They were not able to recover after dropping points here on Wednesday. But there are a lot of teams with only a couple of games left for everybody. There are a lot of teams still in it in the Eastern Conference.
Midweek activity here at the Proving Ground as well, involving Pittsburgh. Get that ready. Dodging, hopefully we won't have to dodge the tropical depression that might be headed this way if you look to meteorologists. But
Charleston,
get that game in.
Charleston will be looking to take advantage of ATL UTD2 here today, but then they will be putting on their stripes to cheer for Atlanta on Wednesday against Pittsburgh.
That's when we'll be back here at the Proving Ground. Your head coaches Mike Anhauser and Scott Donnelly. And the Stripes get it underway. They're going from left to right as you watch. Whistle 7 seconds in. Coming back the other way. We want to give a shout out to everybody keeping an eye on things at MUSC Health Stadium this afternoon.
Well, Oktoberfest celebration. Wish we could be there with you guys, but thanks for keeping an eye on this one. Your hometown Battery in Atlanta facing ATL UTD2.
Taylor Mueller sending it forward. Sean Nicklaw shepherding it to Alec Can. High line right now for the Battery, so a little back and forth. Can trying to find a dance partner, and that one was too much behind it. It's going to be a deep throw for the Battery here in the first minute.
Alec Can getting his 6th start for Atlanta United 2 in USL play. 3-2 record.
Opportunity won by the Stripes. Andrew Carlton turns and fires with the left, sends it deep. Taylor Mueller's there. Partner Skylar Thomas, but Stripes would come back with it. Carlton hit the deck.
Carlton was tripped up as he was trying to make a run off the ball. I believe Anunga stuck the left leg out and brought Carlton down.
Your officials this afternoon, your referees Greg Dopka, your assistants Danny Thornberry, Kadeem Sabara, your 4th official Christopher Heinzman keeping an eye on things.
That was an interesting decision for Dopka. Carlton making the run off the ball, and Anunga stuck the leg out. Little surprised there wasn't more of a conversation in the early going.
Speaking of Andrew, there he is looking to shepherd it forward. He does. Entry. Trying to figure out what to do at the top of the box, and a lot of white kits there, and it looks like it's going to come out Angelo Kelly and Jared Van Schaik.
It's 3-4-3 for Charleston. It's very fluid. It can turn into a line of 5 very easily with Van Schaik and Rittmeyer dropping in to help defensively.
Romario in chase with Skylar Thomas. Stripes end up with it in the middle third. They'll go all the way back to Alec Can and start over here halfway minute number 3.
And the flip side for Charleston is that line of 3 in the attack can press very effectively and cause mistakes.
Carlton comes down with it, but picked off and sent back the other way by Neviel Hackshaw.
Beautiful first touch by Andrew Carlton to evade Van Schaik, but he's unable to catch up to it.
Speaking of Van Schaik, interception there. Higashi and Kelly. And back to Hackshaw and back to Mueller, and they'll work it around the horn. At least that was what the thought was, heading to Skylar Thomas, but it ends up back with Hackshaw. Hack with the left, trying to spring it to Laguerra, and it ends up in the hands of Alec Can, and they'll restart.
Quick pressure from Charleston, making it difficult for Atlanta to build out of the back.
Beautifully handled that time. Chested down, trying to come back the other way with it. Higashi was close. Sean Nicklaw was there first. Stripes in the center circle, Ollie Shannon. Gallagher with a little give and take, and they'll send it around. Miles Robinson. And the man wearing the armband this afternoon, A.J. Cochran, trying to spring something. Activity here, opportunity here. Sent ahead to Carlton. Flags up.
Jose Hernandez leading the break for Atlanta. Andrew Carlton a little too early on making that run. Hernandez held the ball a little long. Interesting to see the tactics on display today. Atlanta is playing a 3 center back setup in the early going. A.J. Cochran, Miles Robinson, and Sean Nicklaw pairing with them. Gallagher's a right wing back. Hernandez is a left wing back. Those two are going to have a lot of freedom to get forward when they can.
You mentioned the stout defense for the Battery. You look at the guys between the sticks with Kuzminski and Cooper, 32 matches and a boatload of clean sheets this season for them.
One of the other things that stands out about Charleston is the number of draws that they have had this season.
Yes.
14. Only 5 losses on the season.
Kelly, Van Schaik. Over at the near, it's Hackshaw. Sent in with the left. Can looking for an opportunity. Ends up over the inline. Goal kick. And you mentioned losses, and this is a Battery side that had Toronto FC come up and bite them, much like they did Louisville City earlier in the season.
It was the first time that Charleston took a lead, scoring the first goal in the match, and then failed to see it out and get a result.
Alec Can getting pressured. Finally does get the release. Gallagher pressured by Van Schaik. Higashi was there. Stripes trying to break out with it.
A lot of players know each other very well in this one. A lot of the players in Atlanta shirts have played for Charleston in the past.
Picked off. Nice tackle. No whistle there. It'll come back the other way. Well done by the Stripes defensively.
Outstanding tackle by A.J. Cochran, and then a great ball to pick out John Gallagher.
Van Schaik is there in pursuit. Cleared. It'll be a throw for the Stripes.
A.J. Cochran read this incredibly well, goes in for a strong tackle. I think he gets some of Oliver Shannon as well. But more impressively, he doesn't hesitate on finding an outlet pass. He picks out John Gallagher on the right side.
And Gallagher being told by Greg Dopka that he had to take a few steps back before he could introduce with the throw. Miles Robinson center circle over to the far, and the captain for the day, A.J. Cochran. Good idea, trying to spring the offensive third, but it ends up being shepherded nicely, sent forward by Kuzminski. Ta'anunga tried to send it to Kelly, but it was picked off, and the Stripes will have it here as we head toward minute number 8.
Picked off might be a little generous. I think Dopka might have picked that off.
Carlton. Gallagher. Sent forward again. Center circle and over to Cochran. Picked off once again, Ta'anunga. And the idea to turn there by Patrick Okonkwo. Ends up in a throw for the Stripes. Couldn't get there in time.
It takes an adjustment to when you play Charleston. This 3-4-3 is not a shape you generally see, and Charleston plays it a little differently than the old school Dutch. Atlanta finds a way through here, though.
Romario and Gallagher are sent in with the right. White kits and nothing but having to recover quickly. Kuzminski has to just get rid of it with the right boot and just get it out of the 6 and out of the 18, so it'll be a throw for the Stripes.
Skylar Thomas put Kuzminski in a tough spot with that touch back to him. Kuzminski couldn't pick it up. Andrew Carlton chasing.
Thrown in here at minute number 9, Miles Robinson. Center circle, Gosselin. Back to Cochran. Shannon. And Miles being directed to send it back to Can. Instead, he's back and forth with AJ, who will then send it back to Can, and they'll regroup.
One difference that we're seeing early on for Atlanta is Miles Robinson playing in the center of the 3-back setup. Generally, he's been on the right side. Today, that's Nick Law. So Robinson's going to have to stay at home a little bit more. He's not going to be able to take those steps forward into possession as often as he did against Tampa.
Physicality in the middle ends up in a turnover. Van Schaik trying to send Higashi forward. Off of Nick Law and Can. Sean will try to send it forward with the right, but then he'll go back to the keeper.
Charleston making it very difficult for Atlanta to escape their own half. Playing a high line as well.
Van Schaik in there with Romario. 2 on 3. The battery had it, lost it, and ends up going all the way back to Alec Can again. He's just trying to get rid of it, but there's nothing but white kits there for the battery. Sent into the middle looking for Anunga, nothing happening. And the attempted back heel went nowhere except to the boots of Neville Hackshaw, but it ends up going over the inline. Goal kick.
Those are the little things that Scott Donnelly will have a conversation with Lagos Kunga about afterwards. That is not the time to go for a back heel at midfield as you're trying to get out of your own half.
Well kept in by Gallagher there, sent in with the right. No real bodies there in the stripe, so it just sent over the crossbar. It'll be a Creature Comforts corner kick.
Thomas that time a little more decisive in his clearance. Doesn't put Kuzminski under trouble, but has to give up the corner. Atlanta's been able to pick on the right side a bit. John Gallagher's penetrating the final third and getting past Van Schaik.
So Higashi is positioned at the near post to help Kuzminski out. Nico Rittmeyer there as well. What is Andrew Carlton thinking about here? Sent in. Let the battery get there first and clear it, but possession will stick with the Stripes. Sent back in, and Kuzminski ends up falling on it. He'll put his hands around it, and the battery will try on a break very, very quickly. Higashi's available at the near, but it's too much.
Nice idea from Jose Hernandez. It's a fairly comfortable save for Joe Kuzminski, but Jose Hernandez, as everybody's kind of recycling, shoots through a crowd. Kuzminski didn't get a great look at it, but it's a sure-handed save in the end.
Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so, large device or small, mobile or stationary. It ends up being a battery throw there. Van Schaik working quickly, trying to spring a Tula Guerra. But Gosselin is there. He gets it back just as quickly.
Good work by Robinson to close that down quickly.
Anunga was there, Okonkwo was there, but Stripes maintained possession in the middle of it. Nice 1-2 touch. Kunga. Carlton launches with the left over the bar.
Ambitious for Andrew Carlton, about 25 yards from goal. Nice little 1-2 with Lagos Kunga. Atlanta sticking with the 3-5-2. Carlton sitting behind Romario Williams and Lagos Kunga. Gosselin and Shannon sitting in front of the 3 center backs, Nick Law, Robinson, and Cochran, with Hernandez and Gallagher manning the flanks.
Kuzminski sends it deep, second ball. Touched by a hand, so it's going to stick with the Stripes, coming back the other way, left to right. Discussion with Dopka and Ta Anunga there. And while we're waiting for the particular ball to be introduced, Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50 and get a ball like the one being sent around the horn right now by the Stripes. And once again, you've got Two coaches at the ends of the spectrum here. Scott Donnelly in his first season, part of the build from the ground up for the Stripes. Mike Anhauser here from the beginning, and let's see what happens here. Near corner, Kunga looking to drive with the left and sent back very dangerously. Looked like it hit Angelo Kelly as it was heading toward Kuzminski.
Great work from Lagos Kunga. It takes a funny hop as it's coming through the baseball infield, but Kunga reacts well, takes it down to the end line, beats Hackshaw, and then plays it into the edge of the 6. And Andrew Carlton, a cheeky effort from the edge of the 6, going for the back heel, trying to beat Kuzminski, who was up for it.
Carlton once again getting possession away, but a lot of white kits there. And they'll send it back right to left. Rittmeyer, Skylar Thomas. See what Kelly can do here. He's double teamed, but he finally does get rid of it to Okonkwo. Looking to spring Guerra, but in pursuit, it's Cochran, and he'll let it go over the inline, goal kick.
Atlanta looking very good in the early going. They're handling Charleston and this interesting shape very well, and they're picking their spots where they're finding some success. A lot of it has been down the right side. I wonder if Coach Anhauser is going to look at this as if he can get to halftime with things still level, if he makes any changes going into the second half.
Where else have you seen this formation? I know that this has been fairly, new to what we're seeing these days, but when was the last time that you can think of that we saw this kind of a formation?
The last time we saw the Charleston Battery. It doesn't happen very often in USL or in MLS. The 3-4-3, it's a hallmark of the Dutch system, but this is a little different than that. It is a little more rigid. It gives them some great advantages and plays to some of the talent that the Battery have on the roster, but there are some weak spots in it, and right now Atlanta's identified Charleston's left as an opportunity for them.
Let's see what happens here as we're heading toward minute 16. Joust ends up with Taylor Mueller trying to send it to Anunga, was too much behind it, so let's see what the Stripes can do here down the near side. Van Schaik a part of it, forces a regroup. Carlton tries to settle it with his cleat, but it ends up going back to Kuzminski. He'll send it clear with the right.
That time Charleston just able to clog the middle of the field to make it difficult for Atlanta to find space to play through.
Higashi trying to partner with Van Schaik, didn't quite happen. Lagos Kunga there sends it to Carlton. Just a misconnection there, and the Battery have it. Guerra tried to go to Kelly, too much there, so it's another turnover in the middle third.
Easy for Jose Hernandez to recover that, and Atlanta comes back to this side.
Miles Robinson, Carlton, Higashi there. Shimmy shake to get rid of it, tries to send it with the left, but Hackshaw was there.
Hackshaw's a big target to try to chip that over.
Higashi tries to settle. Carlton comes out with it.
Good work by Shannon Gallagher and then Carlton to take that away. A lot of hallmarks of how Atlanta United plays the 3-5-2 in MLS. Romario Williams playing the Joseph Martinez role, providing a focal point as the central fulcrum for this team to revolve around, and Lagos Kunga is drifting to find space a la Tito Villalba.
Whistle there on Ta Anunga. You see Anunga, Carlton's trying to figure out what to do with the ball. Anunga comes over the back a little bit. That's what the whistle was for.
Little reckless, and that's multiple times that Ta Brian Anunga has been whistled for a foul.
Off Okonkwo, so it'll stay with the Stripes here. Okonkwo trying to direct Guerra a little further down into the offensive third to prevent anything heading backwards. But it ends up with the Battery all the way back to Kuzminski. And he'll work it to the near and Hackshaw. Looking for Higashi, intercepted.
Excellent work by Nick Law.
So what can the Stripes do here? Nothing, because once again, great work by Kelly to pick it off, and Kuzminski will send it even deeper this time.
In this 3-4-3, the two central midfielders are so important for the Battery. Kelly shows it there as he drops back to recover.
Okonkwo trying to figure out something to do here. Tried to drive, had to pull it back out. Nunga had a lot of space in front of him, decided to send it to Rittmeyer and then over to the far. And Skylar Thomas. Ian Kelly playing catch. Drive by Rittmeyer again, pulled back out. Sent in with the right on. Nicely done, Alacan.
Sure hands by Alacan, doesn't give up a rebound, and then great outlet throw.
Andrew Carlton tried to find Romario Williams, ended up behind him. And Hackshaw with a lot of real estate in front of him. Okonkwo over the bar and over the outfield wall.
It's good work by Charleston to get down the right side. Skylar Thomas is a big part of it, pushing forward as a center back. But the cross in, trying to find a battery player at the edge of the 6 and can't do it. Alacan steps off his line well, and then the throw to Spring Carlton could have created a better opportunity if Carlton and Williams had been on the same page.
Heading toward minute number 20, scoreless here at the Proving Ground, Coolray Field. Andrew Carlton trying to spring Gallagher. He does into the middle, almost into the middle of the mixer. Nicely done, Taylor Mueller, corner kick.
Great ball from Andrew Carlton, splitting 2 defenders to pick out John Gallagher. Gallagher's cross is into traffic at the edge of the 6. It's cleared away. If Gallagher had had a little more time and could have cut it back to the penalty spot, Lagos Kunga had all day.
Creature Comforts corner kick. Let's see what Andrew Carlton has in mind. Sends it back out on the angle. Working in this way, header, headed clear. Second ball, once again, grounder just wide. Jose Hernandez with a bit of a screamer just wide to the near side. So another chance for Jose Hernandez to launch from distance. Not afraid to launch, and we've seen that for the second time here in the first 20.
Let's go back to how the first corner started. It's John Gallagher getting on the end of a through ball from Andrew Carlton. Gallagher's cross to the edge of the 6 cleared away. Then on the corner, it's a well-worked corner. Goslin chips it into the back post. Cochran goes up for it, can't win it. But Jose Hernandez with another opportunity from distance nearly tests Kuzminski that time.
Combination just missed Carlton there. Van Schaik ends up with it. Higashi. Too much for Guerra. And Hernandez will track it down, send it forward with the left, but it's picked off by Rittmeyer.
A lot of space for Rittmeyer.
He'll drop. Kelly sets it up with the left. And it'll go over the inline after deflecting off of A.J. Cochran. So corner kick at the far for the Battery halfway through minute 21.
Set pieces have been difficult for Atlanta United too this season. Charleston with a lot of big targets making their way into the 18.
Skylar Thomas at 6'5". Mueller at 6'2". Punch clear. Superman punch for Can. It'll be a Battery throw, but once again taken care of.
Can off his line quickly, gets both fists to that one, punches it clear for the throw.
Rittmeyer trying to chip it forward. Ends up with just another Battery throw. Mueller was available. Thought twice of it. Sent to Guerra. Launched in with the right. Off of a couple of heads. Higashi looks like he'll track it down. He does. Hackshaw. Off a couple of bodies. Can easily picks it up. Looking to outlet quickly. And he will with the left boot. Romario's there if he can get there. Flags up.
Alacan saw an opportunity there, but Romario Williams was a couple of steps offside. We've seen this lately when Romario Williams has played with Atlanta United too. It takes him a little bit of time to get in sync with his teammates that he doesn't see on a regular basis.
Higashi ends up with it, but after a deflection, settle. Stripes will come back with it. Nick Law and Gallagher. Looking to work Lagos Kunga that time too much, but it ends up with Hackshaw. He'll go back to Kuzminski. Mueller and Kelly. and Skylar Thomas. Another turnover middle third, but it's settled by Charleston, and they'll come all the way back with it. Work it from far to near this time.
Jose Hernandez a little frustrated there. He's able to poke that away, nearly giving Atlanta an opportunity to break, but no one was able to find it.
Higashi can't control it. Lagos Kunga does, but another turnover once again, middle third. Really, you're just having a little back and forth.
Little flare out of Miles Robinson there. Back heel finding a teammate.
Carlton, too much.
Miles Robinson playing with a lot of confidence in the last couple of weeks. It's been a lot of fun watching that development for him as the lights kind of turn on for him.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7, 365, or 366, depending on the year. Follow @USL on Twitter. So because of conditions, we have been told, and it's low 90s. We'll get into it in just a second, finish the thought. Van Schaik trying to figure out what to do here. He'll double back, a couple of figure eights and out of bounds off of Gallagher there. It looks like we're going to have a hydration break coming up in about 6 minutes.
Hydration breaks in October. It's not what I signed up for.
No, sir. Defense working again by the stripes. Let's see what they can do here in transition. Gosselin and Kunga working with it. Back to Gallagher. Work with the left. Carlton trying to spring Romario. He does, but Kuzminski is equal to the task. Nicely done by the keeper.
Nice buildup from Atlanta as well. Ollie Shannon picks out Andrew Carlton in a pocket of space, and then very well weighted through ball to Romario Williams.
Kuzminski aggressive, getting out there, made his decision, stuck with it, got to the ball first, and we're still scoreless here at Coolray Field. Off of Okonkwo last, so it'll be a throw for the Stripes. Ollie Shannon looking to switch. He does. Nick Law. Gosselin. Thought about sending Kunga, but he doubles back. Miles Robinson, Carlton looking to shepherd. He does. Romario thought about a return, but it's with Gosselin instead. Gallagher. Van Schaik on him. Tries to clear. Sent in with the right. Kuzminski. Both hands right on.
Gallagher's beating his player on this side, but the crosses are just not finding Stripes players. He's not able to cut that back enough to pick out Williams or Carlton or Kunga making late runs. It's pretty easy pickings for Joe Kuzminski.
Guerra looking for Higashi, finds him. Anunga, Kelly. Ta Anunga again. Not enough behind it, but Van Schaik and Kelly are there as Higashi couldn't catch up with it. Nicely defended, but stuck with by the battery. There's an opportunity here with the right into the net. Settled, turn, stop, fire. Middle of minute number 27, and the battery are on the board.
John Gallagher makes the first stop, but he's unable to close it down on the end line. Great work from Charleston to keep that alive, cut it back to the top of the six, and then finish.
And you had seen with ATL UTD2 chances, but Charleston gets the first one on the board.
When you're unable to convert, things can go against you in this way. Charleston hangs in there. This is great work as a team just to keep it alive.
And Atula Guerra gets credit for the goal. Angelo Kelly gets credit for the assist and for Guerra. That is goal number 15 on the year.
Kelly just kept battling with it. Ends up winning the duel with Gallagher and then puts the ball across to Guerra. Great little shimmy from Guerra to get Can leaning one way and cut it back across. This is where Charleston was last week, though. Charleston got a first-half goal. They had the lead, and Toronto FC2 came back to win that. We'll see how they handle that this week.
Okonkwo out of traffic, out of trouble. Looks like it's him all the way back to Kuzminski, and it is. Taylor Mueller thought about it, deferred. Hackshaw. Little chip forward, trying to spring Van Schaik. Nick Law is there, and he'll send it back to Can.
The flip side of that is last week we saw Tampa Bay score first against ATL UTD2, and they hung around and found a way to get a positive result at the end.
And so you kind of answered the question I was going to give you in about a minute and a half, is the report card so far for the Stripes. So we have an opportunity here. A couple of slide tackles, Rittmeyer and Skylar Thomas, and Thomas ends up with it after the second tackle. Cleared, but not all the way out. See what Carlton can do with it for the Stripes. A little drag of the kit, but he's going to keep coming with it. Hernandez on a give and go. A lot of pogo in there, but it ends up with Charleston.
Just no space. 7 Charleston players in that square.
Angelo Kelly rejects it that time, but activity here once again at the near. What can Gallagher do with it?
The Battery are so good at making the field small. You see all 10 Battery outfield players within about a 20-yard strip in their own half right now. And not pushed into their defensive final third either. That's what's impressive about it.
And with the ball going out there, it'll be a Battery throw, but this is your hydration break. So I was going to ask you what you were looking at so far and what your takeaways were with the Stripes here in the first half of the first half, but let's say the first 30 minutes.
They have to diversify a little bit. That was the first time, that last one with Jose Hernandez, that we've seen an attack down the left side get into the final third. It can't only be one-dimensional down one side. That makes it easy for Charleston to deal with, as we started to see as the half went on. Charleston's comfortable right now too, so Atlanta has to find a way to get them out of their comfort zone, whether that's Kunga, Carlton beating players on the dribble, better distribution from the wings. Atlanta has to threaten Kuzminski a little bit more.
We mentioned the home stand here, 7 to finish for ATL UTD2. And as we've been kind of getting into what's been going on today, you'd mentioned these opportunities that the Stripes are having. Once again, getting them, just not able to be there. We've seen Jose Hernandez launch from distance a couple times.
Let's go back to the goal for Charleston, though, on that side. Angelo Kelly is able to hang with John Gallagher, who wins the first battle at the edge of the 18. But Kelly stays with it, takes him down to the end line, gets Gallagher on the ground, and then cuts it back. And Atulagera inside the 18, so good, so calm, and he's able to beat Alec Can.
And that's where we are here with the hydration break. So let's see what happens here with the Stripes here in the final 15 minutes of the first half.
I like that we have a graphic for the hydration break.
I know.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Exactly. Jinx, buy me a drink of a hydration there. Since we were both thinking the same thing. But to your point, a hydration break in October.
Hey, one thing we are seeing on the stadium scoreboard is Scott Donnelly, as demonstrative as I have seen him all season to his players. This has been a first half where Atlanta has been the better team just from the flow of the game, but they have nothing to show for it. And that's been a fairly consistent story this season for Atlanta. Lots of good moments, especially in the attacking half, not enough goals. That has to start changing for this group, as Donnelly there puts a little pressure on his players. I like to see that.
And especially as part of the experience is about growth this year. And this is, once again, these opportunities where you can take lessons. Yeah, you've been dominating play somewhat, nothing to show for it, but continue to do what you're doing and get past that point.
This is a group where you have 9 players on MLS contracts on the field for Atlanta. There are heavy expectations. There are very heavy expectations for this group.
Big switch from Thomas to Hackshaw here as we are now halfway through minute 33. Guerra tries to do something with the right, but it's picked off. But there's Ta'anunga right in the middle of it all, and it's back with the battery.
Cochran trying to find Carlton there, unable to pick him out.
Looked like Nico Rittmeyer was trying to do something with a chip. It ends up in the hands of Alec Can. Higashi and Gosselin going at it.
A little sloppy from Chris Gosselin there. Higashi read that the whole way and takes it off of him.
Mueller and Kelly. But once again picked off by ATL UTD2, but back quickly comes Kelly in the battery.
Picked off from Oliver Shannon as he took a heavy first touch. But then Shannon, as he was trying to make the pass, catches, I believe, Okonkwo.
Let's take another peek at it.
Nothing malicious there from Shannon. He takes a heavy first touch. He's yelling at his teammates right now. I don't think he knew that Okonkwo was closing him down. And as Okonkwo touches it away from him, Shannon's swinging to make a pass and just catches Okonkwo.
So Taylor Mueller will walk it forward. Send it over here to the near side. Hackshaw. Van Schaik. Space in the middle, but Ta'anunga dropping back a little bit. As Angelo Kelly was telling both Hackshaw and Higashi to go ahead and go down a little bit. Mueller looking to advance. He does. And there's Hackshaw over at the far. Higashi at the elbow tries to pass it into the top of the box, but it's deflected back out to Hack. Easy pickup for Alec Can and a quick release. Lagos Kunga comes out with it, stepping over, now center circle. Ta'anunga challenging. There's your backup in Kelly.
Alec Can with the quick distribution to Lagos Kunga, but Atlanta's unable to keep it and take advantage of Charleston's defenders pushed up very high.
Van Schaik to Okonkwo, who lost it between his legs, is trying to recover it. Gallagher, ball didn't go completely out, but it's sent all the way back to Can.
Okonkwo with a poor touch. He thought he had lost possession, but no one closed it down. Atlanta players all kind of caught in between steps there, and Okonkwo is able to battle for it.
Gossel tried to turn on Kelly, ends up with Miles Robinson. Nick Law and Gallagher. Higashi closes on Miles Robinson. Anunga on Ollie Shannon.
Anunga closed Shannon down really well.
And all the way back to Alec Can.
Anunga is a player that I think maybe has had the biggest development in USL in the last 2 years. Cameroon Youth International, and watching his growth over the last couple of years with Charleston has been very impressive work. Mike Anhauser's had a big hand in Anunga's development.
Carlton tries to settle, does with a poke to Nick Law. Springs Carlton again. Springs Gallagher to the near corner. Into the middle of it, but right onto Kuzminski.
It's the same cross we've seen a lot of. Gallagher right into the 6, and Kuzminski is able to catch that with very little traffic around him.
Chances and opportunities. This is a real quick look at your last one. Minute 38. Battery up 1-0. The goal to Tula Guerra back in minute 27. That's where we've stood since.
Atlanta has to get up a little bit higher and pressure Charleston as they play in the back.
Skylar Thomas looking for Guerra, flags up. we'd mentioned opportunities. Here was that other chance.
Andrew Carlton with a great turn at the end of it, and he picks the right ball. We talked about Atlanta wanting to diversify their attack, but the option there, Carlton made the right decision playing it out to Gallagher. He had tons of space. Kunga did not centrally. The final ball just not quite good enough today.
Mario Williams was a couple yards behind in pursuit, so it was an easy pickup for Kuzminski. 3 kits right in the middle of that pass, picked off by Van Schaik from Nicklaw. Okonkwo looking to drive. We get a whistle from Greg Dopka there.
That's frustration from Oliver Shannon. Oliver Shannon, we've seen it a couple of times now, wants more from his teammates. The focus, the intensity, not quite there. Passes are too light. Charleston players are able to jump into passing lanes far too easily, and you see Shannon here just follow the play all the way through, and he's not going to let Charleston get into the final third. Just drags Okonkwo down at the end of it.
So let's see if it's Van Schaik with the left or Guerra with the right. Two-man wall. Van Schaik sent in low. Back post. Stripes trying to clear. They finally do. They just got rid of it, but it's deflected. But it will be a goal kick after all of that.
It's good defensive work on the back post by Romario Williams.
Stripes tried to break quickly. And another turnover. So let's see what the Battery can do over at the far corner. Sent back out here, middle third. And Hackshaw. Van Schaik. Kelly and Anunga.
It's so fluid for Charleston. Now you have Van Schaik central, Hackshaw pushing down the left wing.
Guerra takes a shot from behind, no whistle. Van Schaik with the left. Sends it in, but Stripes come back out with it. A lot of white kits in a very short amount of space. And look at Van Schaik close on Gallagher.
And then take it away from him.
Pocket pick. What can Van Schaik do with it here? He's at the elbow, sends it for Okonkwo. But looks like it was last touched by a Stripes cleat. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick here at the near.
Closed down well. Miles Robinson, Sean Nicklaw closed Okonkwo down, but Atlanta has really struggled since the goal from Charleston.
Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/USL Soccer. See what the thought is here by the Battery. Early minute 42. Sin in on the line. A lot of traffic at the back. Lagos Kunga tried to clear. Big wind up from Ta Anunga with the right. Hit a couple of bodies, and Guerra's got it now. Jose Hernandez gets it away from Atula Guerra.
Strong 1v1 defending from Hernandez on Guerra. That's a tough matchup for Hernandez, but he stands up strong to Guerra. Tries to beat him with the dribble, tries to get into the 18, but Hernandez isn't having it. The young left backs for Atlanta United, George Bello, who's had a lot of time here with ATL UTD2. He had his first MLS goal yesterday at 16 years old. Jose Hernandez has really been coming into his own here with ATL UTD2. Future looks good on the left side for Atlanta.
Battery with possession all the way back. Mueller and Hackshaw. Van Schaik tried to send Higashi forward. Higashi wanted a handball, didn't get it. Here's Gallagher. Stop and start, changes speeds. Where's the assistance coming from? Looking for a little help. Rock gets it off of Neviel Hackshaw for a throw.
Not enough bodies getting into the final third for Atlanta there. Gallagher couldn't pick out a teammate.
Carlton tried to find Romario, but it was too much over the top. Rittmeyer back in behind. Hernandez shielding him, and so it'll be a Stripes throw.
Thomas closed Williams down there. Carlton was able to deliver the ball over Thomas, but no one crashing on the back post.
Looks like his last touch by Hernandez, so it'll be a battery throw. So let's see what the Stripes have in mind here. Into the middle. Carlton gets through Kelly, but without the ball.
Outstanding tackle to recover from Kelly.
Higashi, speaking of Angelo Kelly. Van Schaik thought about Higashi. And just go big switch. Skylar Thomas will chest and settle. Trying to spring Nico Rittmeyer, who's going to get there first. It's going to be Rittmeyer sent into the middle, but nicely done by Miles Robinson coming back to the ball. Transition opportunity for the Stripes. Carlton calling for it. Going into the far corner. And springs Romario right on. Kuzminski couldn't save it after the spill. It's going to be a Creature Comforts corner kick for the Stripes. Another big opportunity just missed.
Kuzminski forced into a big save. Romario Williams with the little flick. It's a great ball down the left by Cochran to Kunga. Kunga, first time into Romario Williams. He doesn't try to settle it. He just goes for the flick to try to beat Kuzminski at the near post. Joe's able to make the save, but he can't keep it from going out for the corner.
And with the hydration break, we're going to have in the neighborhood of 2 minutes added on here when the clock turns 45. So what does Andrew Carlton have in mind? Taylor Mueller on Romario. Guerra and Kunga. Once again, Higashi and Rittmeyer at the near post. Sent in. Cochran tried to head. Second opportunity punched. Nice bicycle clear by Ta'anunga.
Cochran headed that across, trying to pick out Miles Robinson. Robinson's really become a target for Atlanta on set pieces.
Carlton once again with it, trying to dribble away from Nico Rittmeyer. Okonkwo closed on him.
Carlton thought Cochran was going to continue the run. Cochran was trying to get back to his center back position. Too many missed connections for Atlanta today.
Story of the first 45 for the Stripes. Battery picking what real estate they have right now. Kelly looking to spring Van Schaik with the left. He's got it. Van Schaik tries to spin it backwards, but defense is there. Big launch with the right and just misses the bar, just misses the post at the far. All right, let's take you back to the last opportunity the Stripes had with the corner.
Cochran with the header across. Robinson can't get there in front of Kuzminski, who gets a fist to it.
And then the opportunity just missed on the flip side by the Battery here.
Great take by Van Schaik. He cuts it back across. It ends up with Okonkwo, who rips one just wide of the near post.
Anunga. Works the switch to Neville Hackshaw. Looking to spring Higashi, and he does into the corner. Nicklaw is there. Gallagher in behind. Three-man game with Guerra and Hackshaw. Back out to Kelly. Kelly thinks about a leak in with the right. And Guerra will end up with it. Don't know how much time we're going to have left here for this last chance to dance by the Battery. There's Hackshaw, Guerra, Van Schaik, a lot of bodies there. And since Higashi couldn't get to it, that'll do for the first 45 minutes. With the Battery getting that goal on the board in 27. So Atula Guerra, the focus for their offense all season long. He got goal 15.
15th goal of the season in his 29th game. Atula Guerra just so composed in the 18. He's had a lot of success today. Andrew Carlton has had a lot of the ball, but he hasn't been able to really pick that final pass. We want to see more from Carlton in the second half.
45 minutes in the books from Coolray. Goal on the board for the Battery in the 27th. That is your difference so far. We're going to go to break, come back, tell you what else is going on around the USL. We'll have first half highlights, stats, all that kind of stuff. 1-0 Battery from the Proving Ground. We'll be back with more after this.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Sabrina Pin! Alex Mendoza! Goal! Mendoza! Sunday the other way! Oh, what a goal! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Pure brilliance from Ricardo Pereira. Wazinski, diving stop! Must-see TV.
Welcome back to Coolray Field. We are at the break. First 45 minutes in the books. Goal by Atula Guerra in the 27th has been your difference. 1-0 Charleston Battery at the interval. And as always, fans around the USL get the chance to vote on some of the best that happened during the particular week. We're going to focus on the goal of the week, and it ends up being from a gentleman who's had a tremendous year with FC Cincinnati. That's the end of it, but here's the rest of the opportunities that were there for goals of the week.
Inside the 18. Instead, it's Bryant drilling it home.
My goodness, what a finish, young fella.
Delgado just dinks it back in. In the middle, the flick, it's in. It's Miguel Garduño.
Seth Kasipli. And Reno's on the board here in the 12th minute as Seth Kasipli delivers.
Ledesma whirls his oyster. He'll curl this and put it in! Incredible! Ledesma! Here's Enevoldsen looking for his second of the night. Thomas Enevoldsen seals the deal for Orange County on the road in Sin City. Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Rear pin! Alex Mendoza! Goal! And the other! Sunday the other way! Oh, what a goal! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Pure brilliance from Ricardo Pereira. Krasinski diving stop! Must-see TV.
So the Emmanuel Ledesma Tour here in 2018 continues. Goal of the week coming out of this past week's action in the USL. That's not the only thing that has been going on. The USL has unveiled a new brand identity streamlined structure that will now give us the USL Championship, USL League One, USL League Two, and it's going to be a prominent part of the North American soccer landscape in 2019. For more information about the USL's evolution, all you need to do is dial it up at uslsoccer.com, Jason, and that is only a small part of the news and notes that are going on around the league. A lot of numbers and a lot of teams chasing playoff spots.
Yeah, a lot of the playoff pictures starting to come into focus now. 9 of 16 spots are claimed. Charleston, coming into today, knew that they would be hosting in the quarterfinal round. They still have a chance to get up to third. We'll see how the results fall for them. They finish next week in Ottawa. Record-setting attendance this season, too. That's been a big story all year long. Just across the league, it's been so impressive to see huge crowds. I mean, Cincinnati gets a ton of the pub, but there have been big crowds all across the league all season long.
And then if you were to look at how things might shake out in the playoffs, 1 and 8, you'd have FC Cincinnati and North Carolina. Some interesting matchups here if it plots out.
Yeah, Cincinnati has really run roughshod over the Eastern Conference. They would be facing North Carolina if the playoffs started today. Charleston Battery would be hosting Indy 11, Louisville and Ottawa, Pittsburgh and Bethlehem Steel. Charleston still trying to get into that third spot. And I'm wondering if you're looking at it, if you're Mike Anhauser at this point, if you're trying to pick opponents, if you feel like you have an advantage over Bethlehem as opposed to Indy 11 or vice versa.
We'll be keeping an eye on that for the last week of the regular season. Everything ends at October 13th, and then we get to the postseason. We are still at the interval. We'll get you ready for the second 45 minutes. First half highlights, stats, all the news that's fit to print, and get you ready for what else is going on here at the Proving Ground. 1-0 Charleston Battery over ATL UTD2. You're watching USL Soccer on ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Jason Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Rear pin! Alex Mendoza! Goal! And the other! Sunday the other way! Oh, what a goal! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Pure brilliance from Ricardo Pereira. Krasinski diving stop! Must-see TV.
Welcome back to the Proving Ground. It is halftime. We'll get you ready for the second 45 minutes here in just a little bit when we're looking at what has gone on in the first 45 minutes. Jason, I guess you could say it's missed opportunities for one team, but then the other team closes it in.
Yeah, Atlanta United, too, had the control of the play in the early going. It was just that final ball that wasn't there. We had an early chance. Joe Kuzminski is able to make the big save. But Atlanta, the quality in the attack just wasn't there. Kuzminski was able to handle it pretty well.
Then there was the opportunity there for Kuzminski to close it down, and he was tested, but nothing ended up in behind him as well. So once again, Atlanta United has their opportunities, but the defense is there for the Battery. And you have, once again, one of the hallmarks of the Battery this season, closing everything down, not letting anything get to Kuzminski or get past Kuzminski.
Jose Hernandez had a couple of chances on half clearances off of plays. Hernandez had one earlier. This one was a little bit better chance off of a half volley. But let's get to the goal for Charleston. Angelo Kelly, it's great work from him in just dealing with the challenge from Gallagher, who didn't give up easily, but Kelly stuck with it, and he's able to find Guerra at the top of the 6. Guerra, in that moment, his composure, he's going to be able to finish that.
And then one final opportunity for the Battery as well that just missed.
Okonkwo with the shot wide. Okonkwo takes that very quickly, nearly beats Can. I'm not sure if Alec had got to the near post quick enough, but Okonkwo with a rifled shot just wide of the near post.
Any of the first half numbers stick out to you one way or the other?
You start to dig into possession, and Atlanta United, too, had a slight advantage there. No surprise. That really plays into the way these two teams approach the game. 5 shots versus 3 for Charleston, 2 shots on target. The only shot on target for the Battery was the goal. This is how you would expect an Atlanta-Charleston match to play out. Atlanta's had their opportunities. They haven't taken advantage. Charleston doesn't need a lot of opportunities, and they're very efficient when they get them.
And you mentioned that we're getting to it. Charleston has the opportunity to possibly get the 3. After today, it's only one match for them, and it's on the 13th. They go all the way up to Ottawa to take on the Fury for their last game of the regular season, a 2 o'clock kick at TD Place. So a tough test for Charleston to finish out their regular season.
And that's a massive one right now because the Fury are battling to try to get into the playoffs. Currently, they're on the outside looking in on 45 points. They're going to be in likely a must-win situation. Charleston, you have to find that balance. You'd like to move up to 3rd. Obviously, a better seed is always better to have, but you also don't want to risk it with the playoffs right around the corner. So we'll see what Charleston gets today and what that might end up giving them an opportunity to do next week.
On the flip side, we'll be back here midweek at the Proving Ground for Pittsburgh, which stifling defense for the Riverhounds all season long.
Well, that's the match that Charleston will be watching very closely and will inform their decisions as they go to Ottawa. Pittsburgh could seal up the 3rd spot with a win against Atlanta on Wednesday. Then does Mike Anhauser look at that match in Ottawa as an opportunity to rotate his squad, as an opportunity to keep some guys fresh, or an opportunity to continue building to the postseason?
Then the season wraps up here at the Proving Ground. Game 7 of the 7-game homestand goes up against the Richmond Kickers, who will be heading to League One after that match.
We do have a substitution at halftime. Jay Bolt coming into the match for Jared Van Schaik. We'll get to that in just a second, but Richmond Kickers, that's part of the whole USL rebrand. With the USL League One coming online next year, we've talked to our friends down in Statesboro, Georgia, and South Georgia, Tormenta. Richmond Kickers moving to League One. That'll be their final match at this level. The Kickers have been a longtime stalwart of USL, and I think this is a good fit for them going forward.
So we'll start the second 45 minutes here at Coolray. The Stripes will be moving from right to left, heading out into the outfield. Nice outlet there by Andrew Carlton. Lagos Kunga has to track it down. So let's see Chris Goslin, Shannon looking for Carlton. Romario could not work his way around Skylar Thomas, and it heads back to Joe Kuzminski.
Carlton tried to play that into the path of Williams, but Williams is unable to get there. Bolt has come on as the left-sided midfielder in the 3-4-3, replacing Van Schaik. We've seen Bolt play on the right side. He had a great match here at Coolray Field back in April.
Jose Hernandez. And a push in the back.
Oliver Shannon, Patrick Okonkwo have had their battles so far today.
Still
continues there. That time Okonkwo was able to bring Shannon down for the foul. Two guys who are both under contract to Atlanta United. That's what's interesting about Patrick Okonkwo's loan over to Charleston. It's been a great opportunity for him, and he's made the most of it, especially later in the season.
Nico Rittmeyer with it now. Skylar Thomas tries to clear, does not. Ali Shannon to Carlton at the elbow, near side. Has Hernandez to his right, but he'll decide to dribble into the middle. Switch is there. Nick Law will launch. We've seen that before, and he just misses to the near side.
Took a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick in the near side.
Creature Comforts corner kick here, minute number 48. Stripes gets on the run in, headed and in! Set piece, Carlton right into the mixer, headed behind Joe Kuzminski, and we're tied at ones.
Perfect delivery from Andrew Carlton to the near post. You get the diagonal run across the 18. Romario Williams with the header beats Kuzminski to the far post. Great delivery from Carlton, great header from Williams. We're level here at the Proving Ground.
To the point you made in the first half. Battery last time out against Toronto FC2. Toronto FC2 was down 1-0, came back to win 2-1. Last time out for the Stripes. Down 1-0 to Tampa. Get a late goal by Miles Robinson for a shared result. And in the late 48th, we're tied at ones off a corner.
Well, let's see how Charleston responds to this. This is the same spot they were in. They took the lead against Toronto FC2 last weekend. Patrick Okonkwo with the opener for them there. They ended up losing 2-1. As you start to get close to the postseason, Charleston with 14 draws this season, you have to start turning some of those draws into wins. And this is a little bit of a troubling trend for Mike Anhauser, is you can't give up leads when you get them in the first half. Atlanta seems to have a little bit of momentum right now.
Whistle there and a foul as Jay Bolt was jousting with Gallagher. And to something that we saw in the first half in the hydration break, the animated Scott Donnelly, I imagine that conversation continued in the locker room at the first half, and we've seen the results here in the first 4 minutes of the second.
Oh, I'm sure it did, because it didn't have much of an effect in the first half. You did not see the proper response from that speech from Donnelly. Second half, a little bit more focus, a little more intensity in the early going, and now they've gotten a lift after the goal.
Bolt looking for Okonkwo. Off of Okonkwo last goal kick for Alacan.
Not a lot of communication there from Atlanta as A.J. Cochran is drifting back, trying to pick up Okonkwo.
Stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on your favorite USL social media channel of choice.
That's another great outlet ball from Oliver Shannon to pick out Kunga.
360 by Carlton over to the far. Bolt and Gallagher off of both. Gosselin with it. And in and out of the traffic. Battery come back with it the other way halfway through minute 51.
Too crowded in the middle of the field for Atlanta to find an opportunity.
Kelly hit the deck. Shannon whistled as Rittmeyer tried to pass by that time.
I think the foul was for the first one, though.
On Kelly?
Yeah, where Dopka's coming back to point, that would be the contact on Kelly. Dopka tried to play advantage, and Rittmeyer was brought down as well. Oliver Shannon disagrees with that call.
So let's see what the idea is here for the battery in minute 52. Ta'anunga, as Greg Dopka was making sure that Andrew Carlton was back a sufficient distance.
He wasn't, and he is very crafty in taking little steps up as Dopka is distracted.
Why, yes, he is. And another one.
I don't think our feed is down on the Charleston bench, so I don't think Coach Anhauser's hearing that.
No.
It's the little things, though. We'll talk about it after the set piece. Oh, Dopka made him take a step back.
Sent in, cleared. Second chance settled by Kelly. Back to Rittmeyer. Kunga chasing. Back to Skylar Thomas. Ta'anunga. Nice slide, but kept with the battery here. What can they do with it? Sent in. Guerra. In between Higashi and Anunga. Anunga has it. Higashi wants him to send it backwards to spring Higashi with Kelly. Flick, touch, and cleared. But not entirely so. Big launch with the left and blocked by Sean Nicklaw. Launch with the right, blocked again, and that time it's cleared. Lagos Kunga chasing, bumped by Taylor Mueller, and will be a battery throw.
Let's go back to that free kick. Andrew Carlton taking those steps up. It sounds like a little thing, but for a young player to understand that situation and understand that he has that opportunity, by stepping up 3, maybe 4 yards, it makes it more difficult for the service. It's good work by Carlton there.
Very good gamesmanship. Inside, Guerra flag up.
Sean Nicklaw with a couple of blocks on that last sequence, one off his back, one with the right boot.
You've got a limited time to figure this out, but how well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week against experts from across the USL. Got about a week and a half. Got about a week to figure it out, to improve your lot. Can looking for help, back and forth. Miles Robinson into Can in a triangle. Nicklaw. Pressure coming from the battery here. Guerra working forward. Anunga working forward. Sent over the top. Can Kunga get there first? Great work by Neville Hackshaw and by Taylor Mueller just to make sure that nothing gets out of control. Ball stays in. Jay Bolt is there off of Gallagher. Nice dribbling out of traffic by Angelo Kelly.
Miles Robinson with a nice ball over the top, nearly springs Kunga. Can off his line quickly there, but you mentioned Hackshaw on that last play with Kunga. That's why you don't give up on a play. He was able to just put enough pressure on Kunga, gave Mueller a chance to clean it up.
Whistle there on Rittmeyer. Carlton stands his ground. Rittmeyer coming in with a head of steam, knocks Carlton over, gets the whistle. Quick reset and a big launch over the outfield wall. Ollie Shannon applauding the idea of Chris Gosselin there, just winding up and firing. See an opportunity, go for it as we head toward minute number 56, tied at 1. Guerra in the 27th, Romario off a corner in the 48th, and that's where we are.
At times, Atlanta can get a little impatient with those shots from distance. It's okay to mix that in every once in a while, but you don't want to rely on that as your only opportunities you're creating.
Second ball won by Kelly, but Kelly takes down Carlton. As Carlton tries to create, Angelo Kelly gets a yellow.
Picks up the yellow because Carlton ended up grabbing that second one, and nice little spin move on Kelly, who has to bring him down. If Kelly doesn't commit the foul here, Andrew Carlton's off to the races down the middle of the park.
Shannon, Cochran, Robinson, and Nicklaw. Tried to work a heel pass into the deal, ends up back with the battery. Kuzminski. First ball won by Nicklaw, but Jay Bolt will follow it out of bounds for a battery throw. Hackshaw and Guerra marked by Shannon. Bolt jousting with Gallagher. Ta'anunga over to Kelly, trying to send Higashi, or to send Rittmeyer, but it's behind him for a stripes throw.
Unforced error there gives Atlanta a chance.
Speaking of unforced errors, opportunity, but Can pops on top of it very, very quickly as Anunga tried to spring Okonkwo.
Huge opportunity there. Alec Can's distribution has been something that we've talked about during his time here in Atlanta. That one was not good enough, and you can't give those chances away. Charleston lets Atlanta off the hook.
Stripes now at the back. Cochran sending it back to Can. Looks like we're going to have a substitution coming in for the Stripes at the next opportunity. Carlton tries to brush it forward to Romario.
Andrew Carlton with the skill check at midfield. Romario Williams has to bring it backwards, though.
Gosselin, Hernandez with the left. Far post, activities there. Opportunity was there over everybody, but kept in play. Gallagher and Shannon. Ollie Shannon sending it to Carlton. Can't control it with either cleat. There's Higashi and Nicklaw. Whistle on Nicklaw.
Carlton was going for the spin move again. That time it gets away from him a bit. Good service from Jose Hernandez down the left side. A little bit different type of service. We've seen Gallagher serve that into the 6 consistently. This time Hernandez goes to the back post.
Miles Robinson there with the first header. Anunga with it. Hackshaw taken away by Gosselin. Kunga. Gallagher, very, very scattered activity in the battery offensive third.
See, that's where Atlanta has to go quickly. When Hackshaw steps forward and is dispossessed, Charleston only has 2 players back. You have to take that opportunity. Give Romario Williams an opportunity to go, even if it's 1v2. You can't play with it in those spots and then give it right back.
Rittmeyer along the center line, over to Bolt at the far. Anunga, Shannon on him. Higashi and Kelly. And back to Anunga. Turnover, Romario. Carlton is with him. Ahead of him, Romario is going to take it himself. Tries to do something with the left. It's blocked. No whistle there by Dopka. Romario wanted a call on Hackshaw, didn't get it.
Hackshaw nearly bailed Romario Williams out. He took it to the left where he had no angle, no opportunity. Tries to cut it back across. It gets blocked, but it falls right back to him and looked like there was contact in the corner of the 18.
No whistle there. Okonkwo flag up. Now here's your sub. First sub of the day for ATL UTD2, and that will be the end of the day for Lagos Kunga. And Devin Sandoval will come in.
Now this changes the look for Atlanta up top. Sandoval Not the tricky dribbler that you see from Lagos Kunga. A little more power up top now. Atlanta can get a little more direct when they want to and have Williams run off of Sandoval.
So minute 61 is your substitution. Also on the bench for the Stripes, you've got Jackson Conway, Jack Metcalf, Laurent Kisiadou, Alessandro Castro, and Kevin Barajas. 2 more subs available for Scott Donnelly. The same for Mike Anhauser and the battery.
Chris Goslin pulling a magician's move on the touchline there. He's closed down by 2 Charleston players, nowhere to go. Earns the foul on Rittmeyer. Kelly still trying to find Goslin. It's great work from Chris Goslin because A.J. Cochran really didn't have anything there. He's just playing it down the line, trying to get out of trouble. Goslin rescues it with a beautiful move. And now Dopka has to go have a conversation with Rittmeyer. There's no complaint. It's a foul. It's an obvious foul. Goslin with the little spin leaves them both.
Punched out as A.J. Cochran tried to send it. Saw Carlton in for a throw, and they'll work it out of the back with Miles Robinson.
Let's see if the sub of Sandoval changes the way Atlanta plays a little bit. They've had the better run of play here in the second half. They had it for a lot of the first half too, but really struggled after Charleston found the opening goal.
Nicely done by Ali Shannon. Pass creates a turnover, works back defensively to get the ball back for the Stripes.
Charleston's pressure has not been quite as intense here in the second half.
Sandoval settles it with his head. Romario's there in behind. Kelly marking him. Romario wants to do something with the right. He does. Chip there and cleared by Skylar Thomas.
Good first time cross from Gallagher.
Goslin will wind up and fire over the bar. Probably about 2.5 feet higher than the bar itself, but once again launching from distance by the Stripes.
But that one's better. That's a much better attempt for Goslin. That one didn't miss by much, and it's a good build-up all the way around. Sandoval heads it back to Williams. Williams with the chip out wide to the right to Gallagher. First time cross that has to be cleared out, and then Goslin in some space. He has a good look at this one.
One in the air by Cochran. Second ball, 50-50 with Carlton and Kelly. Comes down with the battery. Rittmeyer looking for help. Gets it from Kelly, pushing the back from Carlton.
And Carlton's going to pick up a yellow card for that. Little petulant there from Andrew Carlton. Didn't win the first ball with Kelly. Took a little bit of time to get back on his feet. And he comes challenging back on Kelly, commits the foul, picks up the yellow.
Skylar Thomas getting into it a bit with Romario Williams.
2 guys who know each other a little bit.
That's one of the subplots of this, with Romario with his time in Charleston. Gordon Wild, who is on the bench today for Charleston.
Carlton and Goslin have both spent time with the battery.
Okonkwo there currently. So let's see what Ta Nunga has in mind. Big chip with the sand wedge and over the inline headed by Hackshaw. So goal kick. Quickly put back into play by Alec Can. Shannon, Carlton. Anunga pushes from behind. Carlton sticks with it, tries to spring Romario down the middle. Opportunities there. Can he get it in with the left? He can! Second on the day. The connection was there. Romario in the 48th. Romario in the 65th. Stripes up 2-1.
That goal's Andrew Carlton's goal. He picks up a yellow card and bounces back quickly with an unbelievable ball to Romario Williams. Puts it on a platter for Romario. Kuzminski has to come out to try to get there. He can't get there fast enough. Williams with the touch around Kuzminski and finishes, and you notice Romario Williams immediately points back to Andrew Carlton for that one. 2 assists on the day for Carlton, 2 goals for Romario Williams, 2-1 Atlanta.
And just like the last time out for the Battery against Toronto FC, 2 up 1-0, now down 2-1.
It has to get in your head a little bit when that happens in back-to-back weeks. Wednesday also gave Atlanta some confidence in knowing that they can find a way back into matches. Now they found the way all the way back into the lead. Now you're seeing that frustration a little bit. Bolt brings Sandoval down. Atlanta, this group hasn't played with a lot of leads this season. See how they handle it now that the tables have turned.
But the one thing that we know, regardless of sport, is that confidence is contagious. One guy gets it, you see something happen, you see something positive happen as a team, everything continues to work its way forward. Let's see if that confidence can continue to work itself here for the Stripes with a 2-1 lead after having come all the way back from being down 1-0.
Well, a player right now with a lot of confidence is Andrew Carlton. And there's been lots of conversations about Carlton and his 2018 season with Atlanta United and here in USL with Atlanta United too. Carlton today has shown really all aspects of it. He's had some frustrating moments, but he's also stepped up and delivered when he's needed to.
As has Miles Robinson in the last little while. A lot of shoulders.
It's going back to the first one. Dobka tried to play advantage as Okonkwo was brought down. Fell to Guerra. Guerra was brought down as well.
The physicality of Miles Robinson there as well.
The free kick is actually better for Charleston that he called the first one. It's a much better angle here, a little more straight on. A little bit more difficult for Alec Can in setting his wall and in trying to judge what's going to happen with this delivery. A little too physical there for Miles Robinson. Big opportunity here for Atula Guerra.
And keeping an eye on Guerra, who will launch with the right. Superman punch cleared.
Can gets both hands behind that and pushes it out wide. Atlanta with a chance to break.
Carlton trying to send Devin Sandoval. Will have enough English to stay in. Stays on the line. Nicely done, but it ends up in Kuzminski's cleats. All the way down at the other end. Sandoval will chase. Kuzminski.
That's just audacious from Carlton to bend that one down the touchline and try to play Sandoval in. That's where you can take that chance, though, when you're playing it into the opposition's half and that one gets all the way into the final third. You can take a chance there. Carlton nearly gives Sandoval an opportunity.
Mueller. Ta'anunga. Driving on Carlton. Still driving into the far corner here on the right-hand side. Can just has to hop on it quickly because a lot of folks were standing around. Ball was getting there slower than a lot of folks were thinking.
Let's go back to the free kick. Atula Guerra takes it. Can not able to catch, really not able to get 2 fists to it, but he's able to push that out wide, and that's the key. Doesn't give up a rebound in front in traffic.
Hernandez chips to Sandoval. Can Devin get out of traffic? Tries to work his way backward. Kelly's there. Dobka calls the foul on Chris Gosselin. Looks like we're going to have a substitution now for the Battery. Higashi is out.
Gordon Wild checking in. Both Atlanta United players on loan to the Battery are in the match now, both up top, looking for an equalizer for Charleston. Gordon Wild had 2 goals for the Battery here at Coolray Field back in April.
Sent in, header attempted and cleared. Last touch by the stripes. Rittmeyer, after getting it from Hackshaw, hit by the stripes. It'll be a corner kick at the far.
Rittmeyer going just for the glancing header there. Cochran's behind him. Goes off of Cochran out for the corner.
Guerra not a fan of John Gallagher and his activity. It's in there. It's in the 6, but we got a whistle and a foul call. Heading back the other way.
Believe that's going to be a handball called on Okonkwo. It's great delivery from the far side on the corner. Gets through traffic. Whistle was blown immediately by referee Greg Dopka. Not sure if it's a handball or a push on Okonkwo. But his chance did not beat Can, did not find the back of the net, did find the crossbar. Looks like it is the foul on Okonkwo, not the handball. Push off trying to create space.
Settled by the Battery after Can sends it deep. Anunga, Hackshaw looking for Gordon Wild, but getting there first is Sean Nicklaw.
It's a tough matchup for Nicklaw, who's generally played on the outside of a back line, playing as a third center back today, and Gordon Wild will make it difficult for Nicklaw.
Miles Robinson trying to get out of a jam, but no whistle there as he hit the deck. Wild looking activity over the bar, just missed Okonkwo.
A little surprising there's no foul called on that far side. Miles Robinson in a physical battle there. Robinson unable to clear, doesn't get any help, and it's a great ball across. Header did not miss by much.
You know, we mentioned Gordon Wild as another part of the Atlanta United connection with the Charleston Battery. 6 goals in his activity in the 18 starts in the 30 matches that he's had. And there's a foul there on Guerra.
Until Guerra a little frustrated. Chris Goslin gets hacked down.
So it'll be Jackson Conway coming in now for Romario Williams, and Romario's day is done with 2 goals.
Good afternoon for Romario Williams. Took him a little bit of time to grow into the match, something we've talked about in his appearances with ATL UTD2, but he responded really well. And he gets this second goal, the go-ahead goal right now, off of a beautiful pass from Andrew Carlton. Carlton picks out Williams' run. Williams with the perfect touch around Kuzminski, and then slots it into the far post. Robinson plays across to Nicklaw. Now Sandoval looking for Conway.
Hackshaw in behind. Sandoval off of him. It'll be a throw. Minute 75. Jay Bolt down with it. Guerra. Goslin on him, but now Kelly with a lot of room. Rittmeyer has Skylar Thomas, who will send it in with the right. Picked off nicely by the captain, but Skylar comes in with a bit of a forearm on Jose Hernandez, and they'll call the whistle.
Look, here's the situation. The Battery had this happen to them last week, and you're starting to see more and more frustration from Charleston players. You have it from Guerra just a second ago. This time it's Thomas. It gives Atlanta a chance now to take their time on bringing this back into play. It's the last thing you want to do at this point. Jose Hernandez has nowhere to go. There's no need for Skylar Thomas to crash into his back there.
Can sending it long. Sandoval shielding his eyes, heading it down. Conway in behind, but Mueller shields. Ends up with Kuzminski. And Hackshaw will bring it forward to Bolt.
Conway was making the run to the corner. Sandoval was looking for the central run from Conway as he flicked that on.
Pressure sends it out. It's going to be a stripes throw here. Trying to spring Conway. Conway almost in an abdominal stretch that time with Neville Hackshaw, and they'll call a whistle and send it back the other way.
Conway and Hackshaw battling on that side. Conway, the academy player for Atlanta United, not giving in to the Trinidad and Tobago International.
Cochran there, Bolt there for the second ball. Fourth header in a row. Near center circle, Angelo Kelly with it. Will come to the near and Skylar Thomas. Okonkwo loses that battle, but back comes Chris Goslin. Conway ahead. Sent forward, but not enough on it, trying to find Carlton. Ta'anunga there in retreat. Nicely defended to keep it from being advanced, but it ends up being a goal kick.
Goslin has to be a little more patient there as he has that opportunity. He did not get the runs off the ball that he was looking for, but in that case, pull it back and keep possession. Don't force that. Heavy touch, he loses possession. He does stick with the play and forces it out on a nice tackle.
Wild and Bolt hooking up with Guerra now, who will launch deflected over the bar.
Very disjointed from Atlanta United too there. It's Jackson Conway who's chasing all the way back, trying to put that pressure on Guerra. Complete breakdown from Atlanta gives Guerra an opportunity, but he's unable to test Alec Can.
The United Soccer League unveiled a new brand identity and a streamlined structure that will see the USL Championship, USL League One, and USL League Two become a prominent part of the North American soccer landscape for the 2019 season. For more information about the USL's evolution, we talked about it a bit at the half, but you can find out more at uslsoccer.com.
Carlton tries to find Sandoval there, can't keep control. Charleston with an opportunity now.
Guerra nicely intercepted that time by the captain.
Good run by Okonkwo, but A.J. Cochran gets the left leg out to block the pass.
Center circle, Carlton looking to spring Gallagher, hits it behind him, so it'll be a battery throw.
Seen that curling pass from Carlton a couple of times today. That time he didn't have it.
Flags up as Guerra touches it.
Charleston staying with the 3-4-3. It's Guerra, Gordon Wild, and Patrick Okonkwo up top looking for an equalizer in the 79th minute.
Once again, subs left, one available for ATL UTD 2 should they choose to use it. Metcalf, Kisiadu, Castro, Barajas.
Wondered if Atlanta might change things up with the lead now, but they're sticking with 3 center backs against Charleston's 3 forwards.
Battery wanted a whistle, thinking that Sandoval touched it with his hands. They don't get it. Carlton being cheeky again, and a little give and go. Triangle over at the far. Goslin, Shannon looking for Sandoval, but over both Sandoval and Jackson Conway. Brought in quickly by Kuzminski and Ta'anunga.
Oliver Shannon trying to close this down on the side.
Rittmeyer looking in with the right, headed clear.
Great awareness from the rookie Oliver Shannon. Jose Hernandez had made the run on Shannon's last pass that did not find it a home. So Shannon has to cover that, try to close things down on Rittmeyer, and he's able to get out there and make it a more difficult play. Doesn't win the ball, doesn't win the tackle, but it's great awareness and great range from Ollie Shannon.
Conway on Wild. Gordon tries to send it with the left. Conway in a bit of that mix, and 2 boots meet. Sent Cochran to the deck.
Late call there, but he does get it. I think he had some help from the AR on the near side. Gordon Wild goes in strong on A.J. Cochran. Cochran stayed down.
Gordon Wild gets a yellow for that here in the 81st.
Thought Dobko was going to allow that one to play. Didn't call the foul initially, but he comes back to stop play and give the call and the yellow. It's a 50-50 ball. It's a tough decision. Both players commit to it. Cochran immediately steps strong to it, and he pays the price.
You get a swinging leg meeting another swinging leg, and it ends up with Cochran hitting the deck. So
not a lot of defensive options on the bench for ATL UTD2 if Cochran's unable to continue. Jack Metcalf would likely get the call, and that would probably mean a little bit of an adjustment for the back line for Atlanta. Scott Donnelly is watching very nervously as the center back and captain A.J. Cochran gets to his feet.
And it looks like Charleston is going to use their last sub with Coach Mike Anhauser. That'll be the day for Skylar Thomas, and it looks like O'Brien Woodbine will check in. So 7 in and 3 out in a white kit. That's the third and final sub for the Battery.
Cochran jogging that contact off from the tackle from Gordon Wild. Looks like he's going to be okay. Now Charleston sub with Woodbine coming in. Let's see how this adjusts the shape. It looks like they're going to 4 in the back now with Bolt on the left, Woodbine on the right. Mueller and Hackshaw are your 2 center backs. See how the midfield adjusts if it goes to a 4-3-3.
Sent deep. They call Sandoval for the foul there.
Sandoval pushes Hackshaw in the back as he goes up for it. Actually, looks like Charleston might be going with a little bit of a 4-2-4 with Rittmeyer pushed up very high on the right side. But the outside backs are going to go too. Atlanta's going to have a lot of Charleston players to deal with in their defensive half.
Halfway through minute 83. Jose Hernandez.
He's calling for the reinforcements. There's 6 Charleston players surrounding this throw.
Got to work the numbers here. 2-on-1 disadvantage doesn't go well. And that's why. Gordon Wild coming into the box with the right, give to Rittmeyer, can't control it. Send it back out to Obi Woodbine, who'll bring it in with the right. Available, settled. Nick Law, big launch idea, blocked again by Cochran, nicely done. Sandoval, can he spring Jackson Conway?
Looked like Alec Can was beaten on that shot too. A.J. Cochran with a huge block.
But back come the Battery. Knowing that he can't touch it, Gordon Wild won't, but the flag is up for Guerra. Once again, another close call. And A.J. Cochran right in the middle.
A.J. Cochran makes the block. Alec Hand's scrambling to get back across on the shot. I don't think he would have gotten there. The captain with a big play to keep it 2-1.
He's had a couple of those in the last couple.
We talked about Jack Metcalf a minute ago. We see him making his way to the 4th official now with a sub card in hand. Not sure who this is going to be for, but Atlanta has to adjust with this substitution from Charleston and committing so many numbers forward. Atlanta needs some more defensive help.
Conway looking to spring Sandoval, almost did, but nicely done by Taylor Mueller at the back. Okonkwo, Hackshaw, and Angelo Kelly. Intercepted by Gallagher, kept in nicely. Once again, Conway trying to get there, but Hackshaw gets there first. Kelly with the big switch to Obi Woodbine. Rittmeyer, Sandoval on him.
You see Sandoval having to drop so deep to help defend.
Big overlap by Hackshaw, sent in with the left. Wild tries to send it back out to the top of the box, and they'll reset. Big launch with the right, nowhere close.
Not good enough there from O'Brien Woodbine as he forces that shot from 25. Charleston flooding the attacking half with Hackshaw making the run down the left. And Scott Donnelly has to make an adjustment. There's no way he can continue with 3 center backs against this group, and we see probably the adjustment starting to take shape now. Jack Metcalf comes in for Andrew Carlton. Romario Williams subbed out with 2 goals. Andrew Carlton subs out with 2 assists. Metcalf pointing out some instructions now to Chris Goslin, Oliver Shannon, talking to his defenders. Looks like Metcalf and Shannon are going to sit pretty deep and try to protect Robinson, Nicklaw, and Cochran.
Brushed forward by Sandoval. Hackshaw gets to it first. Conway is chasing. Bolt is there. Trying to get away from Gallagher. Back to Kuzminski. Gordon Wild climbed the ladder. Got there first and got whistled too.
Got a shoulder into the back of Jose Hernandez as he goes up for that.
And remember, only 5 minutes ago, Gordon Wild got a yellow card. Let's take another look.
Pretty easy call here for Dopka. Hernandez goes up for it, and Wild isn't able to get there. Just puts the shoulder into the back of Hernandez. Now Chris Goslin cramping up in the middle of the field. An unseasonably hot afternoon here in suburban Atlanta, Georgia. Not quite hot enough for the hydration break in the second half.
Mercifully.
It's cooled down a little bit. But Goslin feeling the effects of it. An unofficial hydration break here.
Once again, we get to minute 88. Goal by Atula Guerra in the 27th minute. Made it 1-0. That was the way it was at the interval. 48th minute, Romario Williams ties it at 1. Then also in the 65th, 2-1. Beautiful passing by Andrew Carlton on both of those opportunities. So we go from 1-0 to 1-1 and then 2-1. And that's where we are here halfway through minute 88. And there's your look at Romario. Very busy day for the number 9 in the stripes.
Romario Williams, last 2 seasons with Charleston, double-digit goals. Makes his way to Atlanta United's first team this year. He's had some big moments with the first team at different points in the season. But when he's had his opportunities with ATL UTD2, it's been a little inconsistent. Today, one of his best performances of the year, no matter which jersey he's wearing.
So what does Cochran have in mind after a couple of stop starts? Back and forth with Sandoval, looking for Jackson Conway. Battery come down with it. Trying to dribble out of traffic was Angelo Kelly. Sends it back to move it forward. Okonkwo and Cochran there. Back to Sandoval now. Settled. Ali Shannon. Metcalf and Sandoval. Switches there. And they'll take it. Gallagher trying to track it down. Cannot.
Great idea from Sandoval. Overhits it just a touch. Devin will be making his way out to New Mexico, the new USL Championship club in his home state next season. Wants to finish strong with Atlanta.
Nicklaw getting chased. And a bit of a hip toss spin takedown that time by Atula Guerra gets the whistle.
Savvy by Sean Nicklaw there. Draws Guerra in, knowing that he's going to come in hot. Takes the contact and earns the free kick. And again, Atlanta can take as much time as they want here to bring this back into play. Greg Dopka is already warning Alec Can to speed it up.
Dopka encouraging Can again to send it forward. He finally does. Sandoval looking to win that. Sent all the way back to Obi Woodbine. Dangerous idea back and forth with Kuzminski, but it works to get him out of the jam. Rittmeyer was there. Now he's trying to spring Okonkwo. Cochran had it, lost it. Nicely done by Metcalf to get out of that jam with Okonkwo. Coming forward, a little give and go. Conway in the middle of it, gets bumped from behind, sticks with it, but Anunga now has it center circle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be
5 minutes added. So 5 minutes from now. That's what we're looking at here. ATL UTD2 with a 2-1 lead over Charleston Battery. Throw in Gordon Wild there in the corner. Gallagher calling for it, Wild calling for it, and it's going to stick with the Battery. Sent in with the right. Nicely done to head clear was Hernandez. Big collision with boots and the ball, and last touched by Obi Woodbine.
Jose Hernandez pressures that, wins the header first out wide and sticks with it. Hernandez and Woodbine both got to that ball at the exact same time. It's a toss-up for the AR on who he's going to give the throw to, but Hernandez trying to clear it. Woodbine blocks it. Atlanta gets the throw.
Shannon tries to send it clear. It ends up with the battery again, and from behind, Sandoval.
Very heavy challenge there from Devin Sandoval, trying to get to Taylor Mueller. Brings him down from behind. This is a dangerous opportunity for the battery.
Taylor Mueller feeling every bit of that Sandoval challenge. Now back up on his feet, trying to walk it off.
He's going to need to walk it off quickly because he's a target on these set pieces. Watch Mueller making the late run potentially here. No one has picked him up. Now he's going to back off. Now here he comes. No one has picked up Mueller yet.
Paired with Sandoval, sent in. Wild clears everybody, and it's over everybody. Last touch, they say deflection, going to be a corner.
Took a touch off an Atlanta player. It's going to be a corner. Everybody up for the battery.
Angelo Kelly telling Obi Woodbine, go ahead and get into the fray. I'll be the last line of defense here. Dopka
talks to Gallagher and Guerra. Gallagher following Guerra around.
Grounder sent to the top of the box, sent back. What's the plan? Left foot low, blocked again. Nicely done, Miles Robinson. Gallagher can't get there in time. Battery trying to set up another opportunity. Over here to Jay Bolt. Hernandez on him. Bolt with the right onto Alacan.
Bolt's unable to get enough curl on that one to play it into a battery player. Now Sean Nicklaw with a lot of space down the right.
Gordon Wild chasing. Chip with the right. Sandoval is there. Chests it down. Taylor Mueller in pursuit. Conway in the middle. What's he going to do with it? Jackson Conway just missed with the right.
Great ball by Devin Sandoval. First off the chest, then delivery to Conway. Conway just a little overeager there. Overruns it and can't get the finish that would have put this away.
Whistle there on Rittmeyer.
It's great from Sandoval off the chest down the right side. He puts in a perfect delivery that beats Kuzminski, but Jackson Conway just a little too quick to get in there. Overruns it, unable to get clean contact and put this game away. That's one Jackson Conway's going to want back.
Sent into the corner. Battery trying to launch to send everybody forward here. Headed nicely away that time by Miles Robinson.
Not much time left here for Charleston.
Nicely shepherded through and picked off and sent deep that time by Chris Goslin to force another deep throw opportunity. Kuzminski having to chase.
It's smart by Goslin because there's nobody there. He just plays it into the corner, makes Kuzminski take the throw.
Miles Robinson settles, but Gordon Wild is there. Jack Metcalf shoulders him off the ball. A little push, has possession and a lot of room to go. Jackson Conway's there, so is Gallagher.
Wild wanted that foul. He doesn't get it.
Wild looking to close on Nicklaw that time. Jackson Conway again trying to figure out how to keep it himself, but he can't. So it'll be a very quick goal kick set up here for Kuzminski to try to introduce it and get him down the field as quickly as possible for anything resembling an equalizer as time is running out.
Conway with a nice touch around the defender, just ran out of room. But now Charleston with another opportunity. This might be their last one.
Past Hernandez. Rittmeyer's there. Sends it back and through. Nobody there.
Still in.
Bolt tries to send it in with the right. Gallagher and Nicklaw clears.
Gallagher with the diving chest pass, and that's enough.
For the second match in a row, the Charleston Battery have a 1-0 lead. They end up losing 2-1. 2 goals. Romario Williams assists from Carlton. Coaches shaking hands, players shaking hands. Full points for the Stripes, Jason.
Romario Williams is the hero today. Both goals for Atlanta, both from service from Andrew Carlton. Atula Guerra with a goal for the Battery. It's not enough, and Coach Mike Anhauser has to redress how the Battery go forward after back-to-back losses with an early lead.
We come back. We'll let you know how this one wrapped up. Stats, highlights, all that stuff. It is USL Soccer on ESPN Plus. Stick and stay for the wrap.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Welcome back to the Proving Ground. Full points for the Stripes as they have 2 matches left here after today. Beating the Charleston Battery, coming down from a 1-0 deficit. Get the full points, Jason, 2-1. Let's take a look at how we got here.
Back-to-back positive results after conceding first for Atlanta United 2. Charleston in the early going, they really made things difficult for Atlanta. We saw lots of opportunities down the right side, cross from Gallagher that ends up getting cut out by the Charleston back line. They made it difficult for Gallagher to find a teammate. Then kind of against the run of play, Atula Guerra gets the opening goal.
Guerra, for the season, now has 15 goals, far and away the leading scorer for the Charleston Battery. That goal in the 27th made it 1-0 Charleston, and it was looking like they were going to be on the front foot until Romario shows up.
Second half was a different story for Atlanta United too. Romario Williams off the corner from Andrew Carlton. It's near post delivery. Williams with the run diagonally across the 18. Header to the back post, beats Kuzminski.
Then, once again, he's got 1. Why not make it 2? And the pass was immaculate.
Oh, from Andrew Carlton, this ball right here. This is pass of the year in USL. Carlton puts it on a platter for Williams, touches away from Kuzminski, and then slots it into the open goal. It's a great ball from Carlton, but it's an even better finish from Romario Williams.
So 2 goals on the day for Romario Williams, and he will leave with those 2, but then Alec Can comes up big.
Alec Can makes a big save on Atula Guerra as he looks for an equalizer on a free kick from about 22 yards out. Can's unable to catch, but he pushes it far enough wide where there's no rebound in front.
Alec Can getting action today for the first time for the Stripes in a while, and then another opportunity for Charleston that doesn't go in.
Crosses were a little difficult for Atlanta today. Charleston put Atlanta under a lot of pressure. This one nearly beats Alec Can just over the crossbar, and Atlanta was able to see it out and take the 3 points on the day.
Anything in the stats stick out to you one way or the other?
It wasn't really a game in the second half about stats. It was a game where Atlanta had to man up a little bit. And this is a young Atlanta United 2 team today that we saw it in the hydration break in the first half. Scott Donnelly challenged them. They didn't really respond then, But in the second half, they absolutely did. Much more intensity, much more impactful play from the Stripes this afternoon.
And the Battery are going to have to be left wondering one more time, what if, as they head toward their last match in Ottawa to figure out playoff position, which is looking like number 4. Final thoughts.
Good win. It's a good win for Atlanta, bouncing back after giving up the early goal. That's twice now. But for Charleston, you have to wonder what Mike Anheuser's message is this week, where you've had back-to-back losses now. You're in the 4th spot. Looks like 3 is gone. What is the mentality going into the postseason? We'll be back here at the Proving Ground Wednesday for Pittsburgh and ATL UTD2. Thanks for watching. However you did so, this is USL Soccer on ESPN+. The Stripes, full result, 2-1 over Charleston.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.